That's not one, not two, not three, but 4 wins in a row. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com, where the Bengals took down the Chiefs 27-24 in a wild game here at Paycor Stadium. And first things first, Joe Burrow was just off the charts. 25 of 31, 286 yards, 2 touchdowns, 46 yards rushing, another touchdown rushing, completed 80.6% of his passes, and all of his teammates right now saying that he definitely belongs in the MVP conversation. Jamar Chase and DJ Reader said he was the best quarterback in the league. Zach Taylor said that he deserves and should be firmly in the MVP conversation. And after what he did today against what Burrow, and in Burrow's words, called Patrick Mahomes the league's best quarterback right now, I think he should certainly be in that conversation. This game was a back-and-forth contest. It felt like a playoff atmosphere. Over 66,000 fans were here. Some still here playing a little catch, trying to do their best Tee Higgins or Jamar Chase impersonation. It was a complete team win again. And this Bengals defense at one point gave up touchdowns on 3 straight possessions, and they didn't break. This Bengals offense got off to, boom, a hot start, which is something they hadn't done in games against the Chiefs. It was just a number of things that either the Bengals caused to go their way or they went their way throughout this game. And first things first, they got off to a hot start. 11 plays, 75 yards, 4-yard touchdown run by Joe Burrow. Boom, it's like, okay, crowd is in it now. There is no doubt, and suddenly you have some momentum. Bengals defense gives up some yards, bend but don't break. They force a field goal from the Chiefs on their first possession, and then a 3-and-out on that second possession. And the Bengals offense, up 7-3, goes right down and scores again, takes a 14-3 lead. And you're like, man, this feels like the opposite of what the Chiefs games have been, Bengals-Chiefs, last year. And yet, it wasn't. It wasn't the complete opposite. It was sort of in the middle. And I thought this game would play out this way. And yes, I know I picked the Chiefs to win. Hold on, I will get to that. Don't worry, CBT listeners and viewers. But it was a back-and-forth game that was always close. Outside of that 14-3 deficit for the Chiefs, they pulled back within 4 at halftime, 14-10, and it was back and forth, back and forth. And that's what I was expecting today. I was expecting Mahomes and Burrow to go toe-to-toe with each other and to go back and forth. And that's exactly what you saw here today. And let's dive into it a little bit more, because 14-3, you're thinking, man, this Bengals team, they have them on the ropes a bit. And the Chiefs, well, they drive down, and Cam Taylor-Britt drops what would have been an interception. They drive down and score a touchdown, so it's 14-10. Bengals get the ball back, and they're driving, and with, I believe it was 51 seconds to go in the first half, opt to go for it on 4th and inches. The play doesn't work. And instead of taking a 17-10 lead, they were on they're on the Chiefs' 4-yard line. They were trying to get that touchdown, trying to punch it in. I get it, understand it. It didn't work. And suddenly the momentum goes towards the Chiefs, and they get the ball out of halftime, take the lead 17-14. And it was shaky ground there, as you see the gritty behind me. Shaky ground, but the Bengals answered. And that was the thing today that I noticed. Anytime it was on the ropes or a little shaky, they answered. So the Trent Taylor play happens, and then the Chiefs get a touchdown out of halftime. The Bengals offense, they go right downfield, and they would have scored a touchdown in the end zone behind me right over here, but Tyler Boyd, who never drops passes, drops what would have been an 18-yard score. Evan McPherson ties the game at 17. So 2 bad plays, bad sequences that really cost the Bengals in the red zone, and yet they overcame it. They were trailing 24-17 at one point. They kick a field goal to make it 24-20. And then this Bengals team, they continue to answer. They continue to make plays. And Joe Burrow completed passes to 8 different receivers today. 8. Including 2 running backs, Samaje Perine and Chris Evans. And he had the game-winning touchdown, Chris Evans did. A great play call. Joe Burrow found him 8 yards. And it was just what a play it was. And it was set up. And this is the other part of this. So the defense had given up touchdowns on 3 straight possessions from the late in the second quarter going into the third quarter. Back-to-back touchdowns in the third quarter. And you heard it last year. You heard it this year, right? Lou Anarumo held them to 3 points in the second half in each of their matchups, all of those things, the mad scientist, all that. Well, it seemed like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes had solved it. And then Jermaine Pratt happened. Travis Kelce catches a long pass. It's a 20-plus yard gain, and Pratt forces a fumble recovers that fumble, and that sets up the Bengals down 24-20 to go down and make the game, or the go-ahead drive. It was technically the game-winning drive, but the actual game-winning drive was set up by a dark horse player, a player you wouldn't expect. Joseph Osai making a huge sack on Patrick Mahomes on 3rd and 3. Actually, it was 3rd and 2, I believe. Forced it to be a 4th and 5. The Chiefs decide to kick the field goal, 55-yarder, wide right. Bengals get the ball. They're able to get multiple first downs and bleed the clock. And this is what makes Joe Burrow special, is threads the needle. 3rd and 11, Tee Higgins, just a freaking dart through multiple Chiefs players to make that huge conversion to clinch the game, 27-24. Bengals improved to 8-4. They've won 4 straight. They've won, it's hard to count now, 8 of their last 10. And not only is Burrow in the MVP conversation, but we have to have a real conversation about, are the Bengals the team to beat in the AFC? We will start that conversation in just a second, but I do have to tell you that if you're wagering on anything, or if you're just watching these NFL games, well, you need to start wagering with my bookie and use promo code BengalsTalk, because you're going to get that bonus money in your account, boom, that you can pull out anytime, or you can use to wager on Joe Burrow's MVP odds. You can use it to wager on Jamar Chase and these Bengals to handle business against the Browns next week. The Bengals were underdogs today. So if you believed in them, and a lot of fans were telling me how you believed in them, well, you might as well just go to MyBookie right now, use promo code BengalsTalk, get the bonus money that they're going to give you, and boom, just like that, you're in the game, and you're making money on a game that you watched anyway. So don't delay. Go to MyBookie today and use promo code BengalsTalk. All right, let's have the conversation. 2 things. 1, this was a statement win for the Bengals. Started slow, but this offensive line played at a high level. This defense made plays down the stretch. Joe Burrow was the best quarterback on the field. Yes, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes today. And when you mix all of that together, you get maybe the best team in the AFC. And they're in that conversation now at 8-4, tied with the Ravens for first place in the AFC North. Lamar Jackson got hurt today. Not sure what that means for him. I know Tyler Huntley led the Ravens past the Broncos 10-9 in an ugly, ugly game. Ravens still won, so it's tied across or atop the AFC North, so we'll see there. But they're in that conversation now, and it's certainly an interesting discussion that can be had about these Bengals. And look, I know I picked the Bengals to lose today. I know it. And at the same time, they answered the bell. And it was the first time this year I picked against them. They proved me wrong, so I'm 7-5 on the year with my predictions. Bengals improved to 8-4. We'll see if we can get you get it right next week. You'll see if I can get my prediction right next week, which I can eat crow on that. I can handle the heat. It's all right. I see the comments, some of them at least. It's all right. But the big part of it, the reason you're watching this channel, the Bengals won today, and they really did show the league that last year, not a fluke. That run, not a fluke. Them performing at a high level in clutch moments, not a fluke. And also, what they did in March, La'el Collins, Alex Kappa, Ted Karras, not a fluke. This Bengals offensive line has been much, much better in recent weeks. They were great today. Joe Burrow just continues to praise them again today. Talked about how the running lanes that are there are because the offensive line is holding its own. So even if he does have to escape or move up or no one's open and he has to move, well, he can do that. And I can't believe I went, 9 minutes without talking about Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase was a baller again today. You know, it was a huge, honestly, all 3 guys, huge effort from Jamar Chase, who had, I believe it was 7 catches for 97 yards. I might be off on the catches. I think they have the yards right at 97. Tee Higgins had the big touchdown grab and obviously the game clincher. Didn't have a ton of catches today, but had some big ones and made the most of them. And then Tyler Boyd rebounded as well. He rebounded and had a big 3rd down conversion on the go-ahead touchdown drive in the 4th quarter. And that's what this team does. They continue to bounce back, to respond to adversity the right way. And that's what great teams do. And this Bengals team is showing flashes of that. It isn't always going to be pretty. It could be frustrating. You could have some doubts. And yet you look up, and it's 27-24. Bengals handle business. We're going to have a ton for you all week long ahead of round 2 of the Battle of Ohio because, look, this stretch just continues, and this might have been the hardest game on the Bengals schedule. remaining of the 6, the gauntlet that we talked about, coming really out of the bye, how tough the schedule was. And while the Bengals, they've handled business. They've won 4 straight, including an undefeated November. We'll see if they can keep that rolling. Also, make sure you check out our channel, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, because we got Joe Burrow, we got Jamar Chase, we have Tee Higgins reaction, we have Zach Taylor, we have DJ Reader reaction, all in one spot. So you got to subscribe to CBT, baby. 25K plus and growing. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you to Andrew Fox Miller, our channel coordinator, for putting this together. Game days are hectic, but we do it for you, and we hope you're enjoying all of the coverage. Until next time, I'm James Rapine signing off for now here at Paycor Stadium, where the Bengals take down the Chiefs 27. Ooh, see? 27-24. Thank you so much for watching here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.